What's going on, you guys? Slim back here with a new video for you guys. Another face video, I know, right? And this time we're going to do the top 5 rogue decks of the format. But not only that, but why you should play them. If you guys are new here, consider subscribing, hit that notification bell. You guys will be notified whenever I upload. You'll also be notified when I stream on Twitch. Links in the description. Also in the description, you have links to my Discord. Consider joining it. It's just a really fun, awesome community. If you're going to buy any of the cards or to build the decks that I talk about, or just any cards in general, use my TCG player link. A portion of what you spend goes back to the channel. Helps me out. I really do appreciate it. And if you want to further support the channel, consider being a channel member or supporting me on Patreon. With all that out of the way, let's talk about the real subject at hand, rogue decks. Your boy? I'm pretty much a rogue deck player, believe it or not. When you look at the decks I play, sure, I play meta, but a lot of times, a lot of my success, like my regional success, you know, the decks I bring to YCSs, they're not really meta, to be honest. And it's kind of weird. You think, really, like, you look at me, I'm a very competitive player, and I'm very up-to-date on the meta, but I like rogue decks, too. I got something for rogue decks. So, yeah. So, what I'm going to start with is the first category of rogue decks. This has nothing to do with the top 5, but I have to mention them, are the rogue trap decks. Now, when I say the rogue trap decks, I'm talking about Altergeist, Guru, any of those like trap decks, those stun decks, even anti-meta stun, Grand Maju stun, etc. I didn't want to put them in the top 5 because obviously, you know, it's kind of hard to say how well Guru is doing, how well Altergeist is doing. There's not a lot of data. Like, Altergeist is starting to see more play because of the Dogmatica engine. However, by themselves, there's just not enough data on it. However, I want to include those decks because I know there's plenty of Guru players out there. I'm one myself. Plenty of Altergeist players out there. Those decks play trap cards. And what's good this format? Trap cards. Trap cards are insane this format. So for that reason, I feel like, yeah, I have to include those decks, whether they're in the top 5 or not. There's still amazing decks this format. You should play them because not only they have access to great traps, the engines are very stunny. They can play floodgates, like there can be only one. They can still play hand traps. They can do a lot of things that a lot of decks cannot deal with, especially trap cards. You should definitely play them. Now, we're going to get to the actual list, which, believe it or not, I actually wrote down. I know, right? I actually wrote it down. Don't faint. Blue iPhone, by the way. I had to get it. I just wanted a blue iPhone. Anyways, number 1, I have and these are in no order, by the way. I have Unchained. Shout out to Distant Coder. Shout out to Barracks Bear. Shout out to the players that actually play Unchained. Shout out to my boy Gage who played it with me on stream. And it's because of all of that it made this list. That deck floats more than Pennywise's Victims. I've never seen a deck that just, it doesn't matter what I do. If I'm not removing your cards or stopping your graveyard effects, they just keep going and going and going like the Energizer Bunny. The reason why you should play this deck, it's cheap. And I mean cheap. You can order the whole core using my TCG player link, super cheap. All the cards float. It's ridiculous. It can play Pot of Extravagance, which is nuts to give you guys extra draw power. Again, that card's been reprinted, so it's more budget. The deck just floats. It can OTK. It plays a lot of real trap cards. Watch Coder's videos. Watch Barracks Bear's videos. You'll see what I mean. I had to include this deck. Coder just came off a 2nd place finish at his Remote Duel Invitational with the deck. If that doesn't tell you something, I don't know what will. He played against a bunch of meta, too, for like 6 or 7 rounds. I highly suggest you guys try the deck out because the deck is honestly insane. Like, it doesn't get enough representation online, but let me tell you, other than that, I think the deck is a huge sleeper deck. If it ever gets support in the future, the deck's going to be insane. It's budget, everything floats, it's an insane deck, it can OTK. Why would you not pick it up? So that's what I have sitting at number 5. I have Unchained, and like I said, they're in no real order. I just wrote them down. Next, I have Shaddolls. Shout out to my boy Pack. I'm just talking about like straight up pure Shaddolls. I don't care what you do. You can throw Alistair in friends. You want to throw me in the deck, by all means, go ahead. But I'm talking about straight up Shaddolls. You can buy 3 structure decks and put it together. Pack actually has a series on his channel that he just started. Literally balling on a budget, literally with 3 Shaddol structure decks, and he's already topped locals with it. And you guys can see that he does it IRL. It's crazy. Shaddolls are insane. Why should you play them? Because literally for $30, if the structure deck's still $10, which it was when I got them, you literally are getting everything you need. Back in the day, Shaddolls are insane. I played Shaddolls when they came out in 2015. Like, but now you can get all your Shaddol fusions, all your Windas, all your constructs. There's literally freaking Abcalone in the game now. And of course, there is Schism. Now, I know Schism has gone up. Schism's had buyouts, whatever. You have to spend a little bit of money there. That's fine. The card is just so insane. Why would you not want to play a deck that can literally summon Winda and win because of it? A deck that can just have so much recursion because of construct, can out monster so easily because of construct, can deal with problematic cards because of Abcalone. You can't destroy Abcalone alone by battle. Literally, it can just blanket a card each time it's summoned. The card is insane. The deck is insane. It does so much, and the more you test with it, the more you learn with it, you'll see what it can do. The structure deck comes with starters like Mathematician. It comes with so many cards to just get you started with the deck. Why would you not play it? I even have some data here from YGO Scope. You guys should check that out if you guys are ever looking for, you know, data. Shaddoll's have been getting in the high 40s to 50% win-loss ratios, and if you guys are wondering what that means, it means of all the games that are played on Dueling Book, these are the records that they're pulling up from it. I highly suggest you check it out. It's easily in some of the top categories, that at least the top like 15-20 decks of the format, and with all the decks that are this format, why would you not do it? It's a rogue deck. Again, budget friendly, very strong, plays a bunch of awesome monsters. I think Shaddolls are just amazing. You can even combine it with the new Magistus cards. I'm telling you, there's so many reasons why you should play Shaddolls, and I highly suggest you guys try it out. I'm a huge fan of Shaddolls. You already know Shaddall Invoked for life. Like, I literally have that deck because of Alistair, so why would I not play it? There's just so many things you can do with Shaddolls. I think everyone should have access to them, and if you are just starting out, they're a fantastic deck to learn. Their flip effects are crazy too. They have outs to pretty much everything. Ariel is a DD Crow for 3. Dragon can pop back row. You have answers to everything, so definitely try it out. Next, I actually have Dragon Maids, and shout out to Milano, because I personally did not know anything about Dragon Maids until I started watching his videos, started seeing his content, and I'll tell you guys right now, Dragon Maids are kind of a sleeper. I know Robbie put these on his rogue decks for the format. I'm glad someone else talked about it, because Dragon Maids are not getting enough love, and the funny thing is everyone forgets the #1 reason why you should play this deck. It's freaking dragons. Dragons have more support and more love than any deck in Yu-Gi-Oh!, maybe next to Heroes. I've never seen a deck that just has so much love and such a strong following. Why you should play this deck? You have access to the Guard Dragon package of Elfie and Pisty. You have access to the Hieratic Seal. You literally have access to the Omni Negates that come within the form of Dragon Maids. Their spell cards, their trap cards, like all the things Dragon Maids can do. Not only that, like literally, I know the deck isn't really that budget friendly. I've heard some stuff has been going off, the waifu tax, whatever you guys call that. But other than that, the deck is extremely strong and can also play Extrav. Now, I mentioned this in Unchained. When a deck can play Extrav, it means that you literally can just get more pluses so much easier. And yes, you do have to manipulate your extra deck, but when you're playing Guard Dragons, you're doing combos and stuff, and you're still ending on these insane boards, these Omni Negates and stuff, why would you not play it? I could not make this list without Dragon Maid. And again, you guys want to learn more about Dragon Maids, go watch Milano's videos. I'm sure you guys already do. Everyone watches Milano the Duelist, so be sure you guys check that out. I just think the deck is amazing. I had to mention it. I guess I'll throw it up there too. I mean, they're maids, Dragon Maids. Like, I mean, people like that stuff, right? Like the waifus and all that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm old, so I don't understand any of that. But I mean, I kind of had to just mention it. So yeah, I have Dragon Maids on there. They actually have a 67% win-loss ratio on Dueling Book. Look it up on YGO Scope. I'll have a link down below. The results don't lie. It can also play the Rocket Engine. It can play the Rocket Engine, the Guard Dragon Engine, and still do all its dragon stuff. It's dragons. Play it. That's the next deck I got. Next, I think we're coming in at number 4 or whatever. I have Burning Abyss and Phantom Knights. I had to put them together because I really didn't know what to do. I've never been a huge fan of BA. It's just never been my cup of tea. I've always had to play against it. Same with Phantom Knights. I never really played them. I just played against them. But I cannot deny how strong Burning Abyss has been, like, forever. Dante is eternal. The engine is eternal. All the cards are back at full power, and people are playing the crap out of it on literal Dueling Book. I think it has a 52% win ratio, which is Burning Abyss. Throw Phantom Knights in there, you get combos. You can make Rusty Bardiche plays. You can literally, you know, have your Phantom Knight trap cards. You can do all your crazy extension plays. I think the deck is honestly amazing. If you're a fan of it, unfortunately, I'm not, but if you're a fan of it, by all means, go for it. There's so many reasons to play it. I don't even think it's that expensive. Like, literally, all the Burning Abyss cards come rare. Like, I think they even got, like, gold prints and stuff, so you could literally just get them cheap. And like just have your Dantes, your one Beatrice, like all that, you'll be good to go. I had to include them on there because it just wouldn't be fair. Like, they're accessible to everyone. They are a fan favorite deck. Why would you not try them? I think they're just an amazing deck this format. So I had to mention them because why not? Like, why would you not mention a deck that you know is going to see more representation and more players are going to keep trying because it's back at full power? And last but not least, shout out to my boy Brandon. I have Salamangreat. Know what you guys are thinking. Salad hasn't done anything in a while. It comes down to the pilot. I personally believe this. I talk to Brandon about this all the time. While I am not a fan of Salamangreat, I have played against it a lot. My games with him have taught me so much because honestly, he schooled me with the deck. Like, I've had to learn and change my playstyle against the deck. The reason why you should play this deck is not only that it was also a structure deck, so it's not that expensive, number one, outside of access code talker. I'll talk about that. But the engine itself is very small. You can still play a lot of good cards like hand traps. You can play real trap cards like Solemn Strike. The deck comes with real traps like Rage Rage and Roar. Like, the deck is just very good at what it does. It does the same thing every turn, and it's consistent. Even though it has lost some consistency cards, you do have Silent Mining. You can play cards like Pot of Desires. You have ways to make the deck work. And it's like, why would you not play it when you have access to that? Also, not to mention, Nibiru is not seeing as much play in the main deck, and that is the card that literally destroyed this deck. So it's like, with that card kind of swaying itself more to the side deck and not really much in the format, you can play your deck safely, at least for game 1, and account for it game 2 and game 3. But I think there's no reason to not try Solomon Great. Outside of Access Code Talker, I completely understand. Another reason to play the deck, it can OTK because of Access Code Talker, update, transcode, all that stuff. I know Access Code is expensive. If you got access to it early, you're good. If not, you can still try to play the deck without it, but eventually you should probably pick it up. But it's just to let you guys know that you do have the option to play this deck, this format. Just because it doesn't have heavy representation, it is one of the most represented decks online, and it has one of the highest win-loss ratios. I think it's in the upper 50%, but is one of the most played decks on YGO Scope, so definitely don't sleep on that deck. Those are the top 5 decks, but you guys already know the best deck, the best rogue deck of 2021. It's pure Mech Knights, baby. Your boy, I got you. New Mech Knight profile coming soon. We got an extra build, and then we have a disparity build coming. To me, that is the best rogue deck of 2021. No contest, but that's just me. Why should you play that deck? Because I said so. It is the most fun deck I've ever touched, like, in my life, like in the last couple years. I absolutely love pure Mech Knight. I don't care if there were only like 5 people that play it. It's the best rogue deck of 2021, in my opinion. But anyways, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, you guys know what to do. Give it one of these. Let me know what rogue decks you guys are playing. A lot of people say decks like Invoke, decks like Precades are rogue. No, they're not. You're still going to see them in the lower tiers of meta. They're just not considered in the rogue category. Don't sleep on Dogmatica. Don't sleep on Invoke. Don't even call them rogue. Don't call Precades rogue. They're good decks. They just have to be piloted properly. But let me know what you guys think. What rogue deck are you playing in this format? I'm sure there's some I left out, which I always do on purpose, because what are we going to talk about in the comments? But those are my thoughts on the best rogue decks this format. If you enjoyed the video, let me know if you want to see more like this. I can even do a budget deck one. I know that's kind of like the next generic thing to do, but your boy can do it. But let me know in the comments below. As always, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.